being successful and being perfectly spiritual and perfectly in tune with the Lord. And one of my favorite things about our generation, even though we're supposed to be the first post-Christian generation, which I don't think will be true at all, but one of my favorite things about our generation is we're moving so far away from what our parents did of putting up this persona, and we're trying and striving to be more authentic. Authenticity is valued within the church. I think that's such a beautiful thing, and it's a result of God working in the church so well. Yeah. Because the thing that speaks to me the most is when a pastor doesn't tell me how to live my life, but when a pastor tells me how they failed, and how they picked themselves back up, and also how others, like it says in Ecclesiastes 4:9-10, 2 are better than 1, because they will have a good reward for their toil. If they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls.
Yeah, and has no one to pick him up, bro.
Has no one to pick him up, because it tells us not to be the strong Christian, but to be the vulnerable and weak Christian that we actually are, so that we can band together.
Yeah, and I love that, and I think that's so right on and so true, and something I was thinking about as you were talking, how we, in our generation in particular, Gen Z, we get confused with millennials.
Are you Gen Z? I can't remember if I'm Generation X or Z. I don't know where I am.
So, millennials is code name for Y, and then Z usually gets labeled 96 or 97 and afterwards. So, okay, we're on the edge of both of them.
Yeah, we're on very much.
But even millennials, having especially experienced the radical shift in technology in adulthood, because we kind of experienced it in adolescence more or less, but they experienced it in young adulthood to adulthood, where I think it was because we were shown just how unauthentic we can be through Facebook, through Instagram, and through social media. We saw so much that could be faked, and we saw exactly how it could be faked and how we could do it ourselves, and we realized this isn't a good thing. Granted, we still do it on a daily basis, and we entertain it for sure, but we're aware of it, and we're extremely self-conscious. We maybe aren't as trusting in a way. It takes a different...
We're definitely not as trusting.
Yeah, it takes something else to gain our trust. I think that's good, though, because it forces depth of relationship. It takes away, ironically, from the shallowness that is perceived by, I guess, older generations upon us, because they think, wow, we're only sharing our selfies and our Snapchat stories and our Facebook posts, but really, beyond that, we're sharing so much life together, especially, here in College Station, and when we have so much time to pursue Christ together, that just forges deep relationship in a way that I don't think, I can't really speak for past generations, but I think is certainly different from the way that people have sought each other out before, because we know what it means to be fake. We've achieved a new definition of fake, and because of that, we've also achieved a new definition of truth, and we're seeking that over the previous definition.
Yeah, it's just like we were talking about before we started, where Satan will try to do something for evil. Yeah. What the devil intends for evil, God will turn to good. He intended all of this to turn into a terrible thing, and for our generation to be completely shallow. But the Christians in our generation are deeper. Yeah. We seek out deep relationships. We intentionally try to be authentic. Yeah. And that's something that I think is a milestone in a person's walk, is when they finally learn I don't have to be invulnerable. Yeah. The best thing my invulnerability is not a strength, it's a weakness. That vulnerability is what actually provides strength and my ability to follow God the best way I can.